All right, y'all. So I wanted to talk to you about 3 techniques that you can implement in your training routine or your training program to reduce the amount of time that you're spending in the gym and improve the results that you're seeing from your training routine. Big time. So those 3 things are implementing a rep goal, doing as many reps as possible in a set, and implementing flat sets. So I'm going to work backwards here and start with flat sets, okay? So flat sets is basically where you do every set with the same weight. Okay, so now typically, and if you're doing a bodybuilding program or something like that, or if you follow conventional wisdom or some type of old school advice, that OG bodybuilding heads give you in the gym, you may do 3 or 4 sets of an exercise, and each set you increase the weight. So now here's the thing. Let's say your 6 rep max is 245, let's say. Let's say a bench press. It's 245 pounds for 6 reps. And let's say you start with 155 pounds on the bar for the first set. Second set you go to, let's say, 185. In the third set you go to 205, and the fourth set you go to 225. So you might do something along the lines of 12 reps, then 10, then 8, and then 6, right? So as you increase the weight, you reduce the amount of reps that you do. And it's a pretty typical thing that people do. Now, you can do this, but when you do this, just understand that you're not taking every set to the max, right? So you really don't start working until the 3rd or the 4th set out of those 4 sets. So the last set is really the real working set, right? The 3rd, or 4th set, or the 2nd to last set is like it can be qualified as an actual working set. So you're not really getting the most out of that exercise when you do that. So what happens is people will do bench press, then they'll do flat dumbbell press, then they'll do incline dumbbell press, then they'll do low to high cable flies, then they'll do conventional cable flies, then they'll do push-ups for a finisher. That's like 6 chest exercises that people do in order to get a decent chest workout. You see this in the gym all the time. Now this will ensure that you'll spend an hour in the gym and the only thing you hit was your chest, okay? It's not a great use of your time. So a way to have more working sets and cut down on all the nonsense is just rather than work up to a heavy set, you just do 4 heavy sets or 4 working sets. So if your 6 rep max is, let's say, 245, then work with, 215 or 225, right? You work with 205 and then set a rep goal, okay? And that goal can be, let's say, 18 reps. So you got to do 18 reps with that weight that you choose, right? And so the beautiful thing about this now is because, look, you can do 1 heavy set and a bunch of light sets, or you can do all heavy sets. Which one's going to challenge you more, right? Which one is really going to take your strength and your muscle size to the next level, right? The answer is pretty obvious, right? Because it's all about putting in that work and giving your body something to adapt to. Okay, if you could do 135 for 20 reps, what is really the point in taking that weight and just doing 12 reps, right? You can use it to warm up maybe for a few reps, but ultimately you want to get the most bang for your buck. So let's say you take that 205 or 215 and you say, I want to get 18 reps at least, right? At a bare minimum, I want to get 18 reps with this weight, right? So, and let's say you want to get it done in 3 sets, right? Because if you're going to set a rep goal and set the amount of sets that you want to reach that rep goal in, right? So you can say, I want to reach 18 reps within 3 sets. So what this looks like is 3 sets of 6 at that weight, right? So rather than doing 225 or 235 for 6 reps, you can do that 215 or 205 for 6 reps, but for 3 sets, right? And that's going to be a lot more challenging. So you can implement a rep goal, right? And so the goal is you want to at least get that 18 reps, But if you can get 21 or 22 reps, then get those reps. Get as many reps as you can with that weight, okay? So that's implementing flat sets, which is using the same weight for every set, setting that rep goal, and now using as many reps as possible in order to maximize the exercise, right? Getting the most out of it. And so now when you combine all of these things, now your conventional regular way, maybe you got the 205, but you only did it for like 8 reps and that was it. And then you just moved on to a whole bunch of other stuff. It's not really going to get you much gains. But you do it this way, you are now getting at least 18 reps, if not like 22, 24 reps or something with that weight. Okay, so you're putting in way more effort now, and you're not time wasting when you use this technique. So then rather than doing 6 chest exercises, all you gotta do is 2. So maybe you just do flat bench and then incline dumbbell press, and you're done. Right? Because you use that type of, you implement those techniques on just 2 chest exercises, right? And see way more results and work way harder, giving your body a reason to grow. Because that's ultimately what you wanna do in the gym. Give your body a reason to grow. If you're not going to work that hard, your body's not going to adapt to easy work. Your body is going to adapt to so that you can handle a greater workload, right? So you really want to challenge your body. You don't want to go in the gym and putz around and waste your time. Make it count. So these 3 ways is the way to do it, right? So just to recap, pick a challenging weight, set a rep goal and the amount of sets that you want to achieve that rep goal in, and then do as many reps as possible on the last set. Right? So you're doing 18 reps. You want to get it done in 3 sets. First set is 6 reps. Second set is 6 reps. That's 12 reps. Third set, you got to at least get 6, but you go all out and maybe you get 9. Now, let's tie this into progressive overload. And for those of you who don't really know what progressive overload is, to make a long story short, progressive overload is basically just the progress of the load, right? Every workout, you make the workout harder. So a way of progressive overload would be, let's say you're doing dumbbell curls with 30 pounds today. Next week, you then upgrade to 35 pounds, right? The progressive overload is adding 5 pounds, right? And it can also work where, let's say if I'm curling 30s for 20 reps, next week I'm now doing it for 25 reps. The progressive overload is adding 5 reps, right? So basically it's just the increase in the challenge. That's all the progressive overload really is. And in adding a progressive overload, that is what gets you the results, because your body has to adapt to a new level of difficulty. It has to adapt to a new challenge, right? And this is how we get the results. Now, so let's say, right, you get that minimum of 18 reps. Let's say you get 21. Next week, you go from 215 to 225. Still trying to get those 18 reps within the 3 sets, right? So let's say you hit 19 on 225, right? Next week, you go up again, 235 or 240. Same thing again, 18 reps within 3 sets. And you can do that until you reach a weight where maybe you don't reach 18, maybe you just get 17, right? So maybe let's say you get stuck at 265 and you're only able to get 17 reps. Rather than going up in weight next week or just backing off entirely, just go back to that weight that you used and try to get from that 17 to at least 18. So if you use it for 2 weeks in a row, that next week, right, more than likely, you end up hitting 18 or maybe even 19 reps, right? Granted that your sleep and your diet and everything is on point. And this is how you continue to make progress. So you're not sacrificing training volume by reducing the amount of reps you're doing. You're not reducing the amount of sets that you're doing. And you're not reducing the weight either, right? And so this is a way, basically, this is like an auto-regulated style of training where you progress according to your performance. So every time you get in the gym, it's like playing an arcade game where you want to beat your top score, right? You ever played an arcade game? There's like a list of names that are like 3 letters, you know, and there's like a top score, and you want to beat that top score. Well, in this case, right, the gym is your arcade, and you want to beat your top score. And just implementing these 3 things in that auto-regulated style included will drastically improve the level of results that you get in the gym. All right, so last but not least, I'm offering 14 days of coaching on the house so that you can experience the type of training routine that has these strategies implemented, right? So if you're looking for a new way to train where you spend less time in the gym, you stop doing ridiculous exercises that you don't need to do because they don't match up with your goals and all of this type of stuff, okay? Then rock with me. I want you to go into the description below and request a consultation. And we can do it over the phone, or we can do it through web chat. All right? And we can sit down and have a little mastermind and see where you've been going wrong, what you're getting right so far, and just dial things in a little bit more and make it a lot more effective, okay? And we'll have these mastermind calls. You'll follow my training routines, nutrition guidelines, etc., right? And these motivational videos and things that I do. And you know what? You got it for 14 days, right? So you get to experience what I'm talking about before you commit to anything. So hit the link in the description below, request a consultation, and we'll move forward from there. Love you guys. I'll catch you next time.